Welcome to our podcast review of Venom. We are Life.Tech.Gaming. Be sure to subscribe, like our video, hit the notification bell, subscribe to our channel, or else we will eat both of your arms, and then both of your legs, and then we will eat your face right off your head.
Overall, what did you guys think of the Venom movie? I thought it was actually better than the reviews we're talking about out there. I think there's a lot of hate for the original Spider-Man Venom, so they kind of set the bar pretty low on this one. But I thought overall it was a pretty fun film, like funny. I mean, I didn't expect to laugh as much as when they were ripping people's heads off. The commentary between Venom and Eddie Brock was pretty original, kind of symbiotic, and
should we just address all of the sins?
Yeah, sure.
Initially, and then talk about what we liked about it.
Yeah, we're not doing a spoiler-free review this time. This is strictly going to be spoilers, everything. So here's your spoiler warning. Say it, Dax. You say it.
Things happened. Spoiler warning. Get off if you haven't seen this movie. Save it. Make sure you download it in your YouTube Red or wherever we're posting this. Save it. But do not listen. Okay. Ready? Now, Jeff, you can talk about however many heads got ripped off and everything. Go.
The first thing that I have to address about the movie is that, like what you were saying, is there's a high expectation for this. The third Spider-Man with Venom was terrible. So this time we saw the trailer. Okay, this is going to be, the action's going to be legit. With the head ripping and the acrobatic stuff, all that. And it was. But for me, the first thing I want to address is that whole first part of the movie was way too long before really anything happened. I mean, I was like,
right,
holy shit, how far along are we in this movie?
It was at least 20 minutes into it.
No, but
I felt like it was 45 minutes into it before anything good.
It was an origin
before
story.
You saw Venom, like it was. And I felt like it was at least an hour. I'm like, I have watched this movie for an hour and I have not seen Venom, and then that's when I started to worry. So you take it from there and tell me what you think about just the timing of that movie.
Well, I will admit there are parts of the movie that did seem very stretched out. They were trying to stretch that runtime. Like you said, it took a while to kind of get things started in the beginning. And then even then, there were parts in there that should have lasted a lot less of amount of a time because, like, for instance, that car chasing scene. It looks like they reused footage over and over, kept turning and making more turns.
They very well could have, actually, because that thing was so long, I lost track of where
I went blind from those drones exploding with the blue fire instead of normal red fire.
You're right. That went on for a while.
I think the issue that we're looking at here is there's a couple things that there were a lot of problems for. First off, we've got the fact that not many people other than the comic book fan base know who Venom is, other than maybe their introduction from Spider-Man 3.
Right.
And then we're also getting a brand new take on Venom. It still was the Venom origin story minus Spider-Man. So I guess I guess what I'm trying to say is it started off slow because maybe they were trying too hard to explain all of who Eddie Brock was and who Michelle Williams' character was and, all this stuff and who the bad guy was. And then, at the same time, this is a movie that's been 10 years in the making. From my understanding, the script's been around for a while. It does feel like a 10-year-old film. It feels like the pre-MCU films did.
And it was
Yeah.
in San Francisco, not even in New York City.
Right, but at least we got the origin was correct minus Spider-Man. I thought that was pretty nice.
Oh, okay. Well, so me not knowing what happens in comic books, was it pretty accurate with the origin?
And the comic books, and it depends on. I guess it also depends on the origin story you're looking at because I think there's like 3 or 4 different Venom origin stories. The one I'm
They
Probably
remake it every
strictly with a
10,
traditional
15
one.
years.
the one I'm familiar with is this one. It's Jonah Jameson's son.
Who they
goes-
referenced.
Which that's who he was,
Yeah,
the
it was-
astronaut.
It was
Yeah.
Jameson.
Yeah.
And they actually referenced Jameson, which I was really happy about. And J. Jonah Jameson's son goes into space on a mission. They instead of the bad guys trying to find the Venom suits, like whatever they were looking for, the symbiotes, they were just going to space, and the symbiotes somehow got onto the ship. When it crashed, Spider-Man went to go save them, and Venom, the symbiote Venom, got onto Spider-Man, and then
Right.
that's how that happened.
They completely ignored that in this one.
Yeah,
Well,
but
they tried to
apparently
keep Spider-Man out of it. That was the whole point.
the director said that they're working towards that, though. Spider-Man.
That was the
coming in.
reason why they changed it from R to PG-13, was
Exactly.
allowing that audience, allowing that possibility of a crossover, because
Right.
Far From Home is the final film that Sony and Marvel technically have to make together.
Hmm.
After
So you think that they're
Sony
gonna
can
put
be
Venom
like,
in there?
okay, bye-bye.
You think they're actually going to put Venom in the universe that we're already in? I mean,
No.
because it was in association with Marvel. So
No, Spider-Man.
No, it's to pull.
Spider-Man's gonna go back to Sony.
Okay.
It's to pull Tom Holland over there.
Gotcha.
You know what I think they're going to do? I think that Sony is going to make another deal with Marvel and let their new, villain verse come into the MCU.
There's, the Dark Avengers possibility.
yeah, I heard about that.
And then we have the next film is Jared Leto being Mobius, the living vampire. So
Yes.
And when does that come out?
in the next year or so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they got to finish any sort of like principal photography first before they can even go start working on CGI. Takes however many months and
Well,
years.
so bringing up CGI, I mean, there was a couple of times in the CGI battle scenes that I could barely even see Venom. Do you think that they chose the wrong setting? Like nighttime is the wrong
Too
setting?
dark on. Yeah.
Because
Black on black.
the Carnage or the Riot and Venom fight on the rocket. I mean, even on like the platform, I could barely find Venom unless his eyeballs were staring right at you.
My wife said the film was just too dark the whole time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so what is Riot's story? Because I really didn't understand the build up to Riot. In that maybe he's kind of like the Megatron to Optimus Prime.
I think we're a little far reaching there.
They're
No,
both.
I feel like it
Yeah.
was literally just we don't want to
Introduce
get rid of
Carnage.
everything at once and go straight to Carnage. So we need someone.
Mm.
Why not take a name that might be familiar to some, might just work kind of thing. Like
So-
they just took the symbiote.
How come Riot had the ability to transform into different weapons, but Venom doesn't, even though they're still the same kind of creature or
I
whatever?
think Riot's just the leader.
He's cooler.
So he can just manifest different things like Green Lantern, just appear. Instead of Venom, he just has his fists. That's
I mean,
weird.
he got the spines though. Venom shot the spines out.
Yeah, that
He
was
did have some
true.
Cool things, but yeah, I don't really know why.
I guess that's
Maybe
why he was the
just feel like-
loser He was the
Yeah,
loser
he's
of
the smallest one. He's the run of the litter kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
I agree with Danny. It's probably like he's in charge. He's the big boss, so he gets to have the cool weapons.
And I think the movie was based on two different comic book arcs. The first one was Venom Lethal Protector, which was Venom becoming a hero, an anti-hero, whatever you want to call him. And then the other one was called Planet of the Symbiotes, where the Riot and the other symbiotes came down and tried to take over Earth, and Venom, Spider-Man, and Scarlet Spider had to defend the Earth against the symbiotes. And so I think Riot probably has those powers in the comic. I've never read that one, but I'm guessing they probably had something from the comics pulled as at least inspiration from.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we saw the blue symbiote and then the yellow symbiote, which those two colors, there's like multiple, I believe it's 7 spawns of Venom.
Okay.
And they're all different colors to let you know, like, these are different ones.
Different classes.
It makes it easier to recognize, which if you notice the trailers that they had before, okay, Riot had like silver veins instead of the red ones that they pushed, which that kind of made me feel like, okay, Carnage is going to come off of him then because it's red. So then we're going to get the red symbiote, but that really didn't happen.
Can I say something now that we're onto it? We've said symbiote like 12 billion times. Did it piss anyone else off that they said symbiote the whole damn movie?
Maybe it was just
and it also makes me want to. It makes me think like, okay, don't say it wrong. Because if you say symbiote, you're going to get in trouble.
I've always just said symbiote.
Yeah.
Say like symbiote.
Tomato.
I'm going by how they said it in the original series.
Oh, okay.
I guess that's
90s cartoon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess that's like
The 90s cartoon?
The 90s cartoon, yeah.
Hmm.
It's like changing Aang to Ong.
Oh, God, I love that cartoon.
Me too. Can't wait for that Netflix series.
I didn't like the fact that after we had sat through like 10 minutes of credits, that it basically changed from this dark and dreary movie to the Spider-Man into the universe or whatever.
Did you say you didn't like it?
I didn't like the fact that we sat there for 10 minutes waiting for that when we already had a clip of it before the movie. And so it was like they were just like playing Spider-Man just over and over and over.
No, I think they confirmed that the whole Sony universe right now is a multiverse.
Yeah, it kind of lets you know there's going to be more Spider-Man than just the one.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't get that from that.
You know what that also kind of lets? I was thinking about it because Jake Johnson is doing the voice, and he's from New Girl. He's really funny, really good actor. Yeah. Like, they could possibly have him come in and do a grown-up Spider-Man and work that into it because they already have the voice.
Mm.
You know,
if they want to like have the live-action crossover sort of thing.
Apparently, I mean, the rumor right now is that the Spider-Man we see in Edge of Spider-Verse, is that what it's called? Edge of Spider-Verse?
Into the Spider-Verse.
Into the Spider-Verse?
Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, I think.
Well, they, if you've seen the newest trailer, I don't know if it was the newest trailer or if it was the end credit scene of Venom, but I think it was the newest trailer. Shows off all the stuff that Spider-Man has done before, and it was all the stuff that Spider-Man did from the original Sam Raimi trilogy.
Tobey Maguire.
Saying that it's the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man grown up.
Yes. Because he was stopping the train and it was pulling his arms out. Same scene. The upside down kiss with Mary Jane.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So he's like this perfect French fry is Sam Raimi's universe. You're this little messed up fry, which is Sony keep trying to do these amazing Spider-Man movies and dropping out on number 3. Like that's kind of what I felt watching that.
Yeah.
I think they'll get an award for the animation style. I mean, honestly, just watching the trailer, I keep looking over at Brittany and I'm like, I want to see this like over and over. I have to see this 3D IMAX.
The animation's great.
It's beautiful.
Right. So, going back to Venom, what is the story with Carnage? I mean, we've heard a lot about Carnage a little bit throughout this podcast, but where does he fit into the whole Venom story and Spider-Man universe?
So, Cletus Cassidy is who that we saw at the end credits. I don't even know if they named. I don't think they said him by name or anything.
They called him Red.
Yeah,
and I don't think they said Cassidy or Cletus.
At the end of his line, he said
Carnage.
Something. Yeah,
there will be Carnage.
There will be Carnage.
So
mark my
Cletus
words,
Cassidy,
there will be Carnage.
Cletus Cassidy is a serial killer.
Uh-huh.
He's insane. That's of course, they kind of keep him up Hannibal Lecter style. And he gets infused with a symbiote, which is the Carnage symbiote, and Carnage is just as crazy as Cletus. So it becomes he's just a
double dose,
exactly, of insanity.
Because he's this like Venom and Eddie Brock work together because they really hated Spider-Man. Like they didn't like Spider-Man at all.
Right.
And then Carnage is the spawn of Venom. So he has like double hatred. Plus you have whoever the symbiote bonds with, it kind of like amplifies off of their personality.
Oh,
so
okay.
because he's so crazy, like the series is Maximum Carnage. They had a Super Nintendo game that I love to play, Maximum
Great
Carnage.
game.
Yes. So when we talk about that, there will be Carnage. You kind of just get amped up, no matter how silly the wig looks.
I just wish that he didn't say there will be Carnage. Like, my wife has no clue who Cletus Cassidy is other than me going, oh, that's Carnage. And she was like, so does he know the future? Because he said there will be Carnage? And I was like, no, it's just a cheesy throwaway line. I loved it. It satisfied the inner nerd, but it also was just like, oh, man, you took it just smidge too
As soon as
far.
Jeff saw the island and the prison, he's like, Darren.
Well, did it not? I mean, they should have.
I knew exactly where they were going. They were going to go into a jail cell where his crazy ass is locked up. And
Well, that's also
gonna-
where they kind of changed it. Eddie Brock was supposed to be his cellmate. So instead of being his cellmate, it's like, I want you to interview me.
Well, and I wish that if they were going to go to the cheesy, it's going to be Carnage or whatever thing, they should have just had him go, it's going to be Maximum Carnage.
Go all the way, yeah.
Go the whole way.
So, now that we've kind of explored the good and the bad, what does everyone think overall? Like, are you
We haven't
excited?
gone into the good. We haven't even really gone into the good yet.
We haven't?
Not really.
Okay.
I don't think so.
I didn't think that there was that much more of the good.
I just don't think there was a lot to the movie itself. I think what we said was it was really long in the beginning. And then mostly, I think the best parts were just the fact or just Eddie and Venom themselves.
Right.
Yeah,
It was the first transformation. And
When it turned into
Right.
Buddy Cop.
I mean, here's something good that we didn't talk about. Michelle Williams as Venom.
Yeah, the She-Venom.
I thought that was weird.
Yes.
Loved
And then the
it.
trade over with the kiss.
Loved
Oh my
it.
goodness.
That
The whole
was such a
thing was
good
excellent.
scene. Oh, it's so good.
I was like, what the heck is happening?
I don't know.
Um,
Anybody else think it was sexy?
I thought it was awesome.
That was
It was,
fantastic. That was
the
great.
R-rated part.
Everyone in the theater was like, "Oh my god, the symbiote's gonna kill the dog.
Yeah, we both were like, oh.
Ah, damn. We have 2 dogs, so you know we don't take kindly to people killing animals, like in
John Wick.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
or
Oh.
what was it, Meg, with that teacup Yorkie swimming in the
I didn't
ocean
see it.
in the trailer. I was like, oh shit.
I always think of I Am Legend, where he has to kill the dog.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's the worst.
All right, now away from killing dogs, back
Yeah,
to
seriously.
Other than that, I mean, it's not a packed movie full of stuff that happened. I mean, there's some beats that they hit.
And
then
there's a lot of
stuff in the-
funny parts, like the way that Venom kind of took over and kind of was just interacting. The lobster tank.
Oh, that was great.
Or
Lobster
eating out of
tank
the
was
garbage.
Yeah.
You know what this movie did do? It solidified the rumor, or the whatever it is, that Stan Lee is the Watcher.
Yeah, because they're
'Cause
like,
he knew.
who's that guy?
Yeah.
Then his dog. Can I eat
That
it?
was a great little segue for him to come in, or a cameo or whatever, for him to say, "Oh, you guys, you'll get the girl," you know.
Yeah, he's
Both of you.
I wrote down, he said, "Don't give up on her, either of you."
Either.
Yeah.
Of you, yeah.
Yes.
Keep biting heads off.
Oh,
Well-
my favorite part was the very beginning when it didn't say Marvel, it says in association with Marvel.
Right.
Yep.
Not once, but twice.
It said
Like,
it twice.
hey,
I
by the
missed
way,
second one.
In
did
associate, because
twice.
it was first just the logo, and then afterwards it said it like right in the credits,
They just
the
want.
intro.
They're like,
In
just making sure
association.
you knew.
Do you think that had something to do with why he didn't have a spider on his chest?
Yeah,
I mean, he didn't have a spider because it wouldn't have made sense.
Because he
Right.
didn't take over the suit.
see, I thought it would be like maybe he walks like
Spider-Man.
mid-credit, post-credit scene. He's walking by, looks at a TV. There's Spider-Man swinging, and he goes, "Huh," and then a spider symbol just like appears on his chest, something silly like that. But I'm glad they didn't go that route. Like we got Venom. This
They
is
didn't go
gonna
that
be
route,
a Venom, and he's gonna work towards being a hero.
and they didn't give
Anti-hero.
him webs.
Yeah,
I thought maybe he'd start like swinging around like he does.
No,
It's
he
not
just
something to do
runs
with
up
Spider-Man, there's
the
no
side
point.
walls.
Because correct me if I'm wrong, when the symbiote took over Spider-Man, doesn't the symbiote then evolve with what it was on before, and then it becomes stronger?
well, it was also
Until it
like
gets another
that was
host.
that was the first time that it was biological webs, because Peter Parker always created the web cartridges, and so for the first time, the black suit gave him the ability to shoot webs out,
Right.
and then it
right.
just kind of transitioned from there.
And I believe it was was it webs, or it was just the black stuff, right?
It was.
Yeah, I think it was just like
Venom's
black string.
body. Yeah.
I think what they did, like, it was a fun movie. Like, that's the best way to explain it. Like, it wasn't a good movie. It was a fun movie. It felt like a really fun B movie, like a not an A class movie, but a B movie, and can definitely be one of those ones I can see becoming a cult kind of classic type thing as far as superhero movies go. But it laid the foundation. It laid the groundwork for what could be a fantastic sequel.
Well, I had 3 criteria when I walked in. Okay, the first is it a better Venom than damn Topher Grace? Okay, I'm sorry, but Eric Foreman is no Eddie Brock. So is it better than that? The second one was, is it better than Homecoming? Which I don't know how I feel about that, because Homecoming was a solid movie.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed myself a little more with Venom, though. And then the final criteria was, is it a solid foundation for this Sony Venom universe? Which I feel like it is. I agree with you, Danny. It's a solid foundation.
I definitely thought that it was better than the original Black Suit Venom.
So wait. So are you saying that you felt like Homecoming wasn't that great?
No, I felt like I enjoyed the Venom more than like Homecoming overall. But Homecoming was a
enjoyability.
solid movie all the way through. So as
Okay,
soon as
gotcha.
Eddie Brock and Venom become one, that part until the end, I enjoyed myself like no other. That movie, I just could not stop smiling. I'm laughing every time Venom talks, every time he's scaring Eddie. Like, it was just really well done. It's
Right.
really fun. But
He really did
overall,
look
the movie,
crazy.
like, they said that they're missing 30 to 40 minutes that were cut
What?
of film stuff. 30 to 40 minutes of that film.
Oh,
So it was
man.
just like there's chunks, and the whole time in my head I'm like, okay, so what are they missing? What did they cut out? What doesn't make sense here and there?
The part whenever he was in the MRI machine and he just starts shaking like crazy, that was all him.
Yeah.
He was just acting his
Yeah.
heart out right there.
Oh, Tom Hardy is amazing.
He really did seem like that thing was driving him crazy, and
Right.
Yeah.
you could tell he looked like shit. Even everyone in the movie tells him he looks like shit. And you really believe, like, damn, this dude is super struggling. But they also allude to him being in New York, and
Daily Globe. Yeah, the Daily Globe incident.
so, you know,
I thought it was the Daily Bugle.
They're two different.
is that DC? Or
Hmm.
No, Daily Bugle is where Peter Parker worked, but the Daily Globe is where Eddie Brock worked. He was a rival,
oh,
different
okay,
one,
okay.
and
Okay.
he discredited him basically.
Right. Well, they also, but he in the most of the canon, he's like he was a bully to him in school, right?
Oh,
No, that's Flash Thompson.
Oh,
Flash at one point does become Venom.
Yeah, he becomes Agent Venom and goes out in
That's
space
right.
and joins the
Agent
Guardians of the
Venom.
Galaxy. And
that's
it is
right.
amazing.
I forgot about that. Damn. I morphed those two characters together.
Well, now they're back to Eddie Brock and Venom too, and it everything just keeps going back and forth.
You know what? The sequel just needs to go batshit crazy. Like, they just need to amp it up.
Yeah.
Like, go ham.
Well, you gave us the story that you felt like you were obligated to give. Okay. You gave
Yeah,
us your
go
background. Now just let Venom go crazy.
Yeah, too bad he's
give
not
us
fighting
Carnage.
Thanos.
I don't
Or he
think.
slaps part of him onto Thanos. And
Yeah.
Thanos becomes
He becomes
symbiote.
that happens.
symbiote
That happened.
Thanos.
Wolverine even becomes Venom at one point. So does Deadpool.
Man, just taking over
Well,
everybody.
Deadpool was the first one to get it before Spider-Man.
I was just watching a few clips here, and he actually, in one shot, has all like different types of the suits at once. He's got like yellow, blue, black, red. Yeah, he's like super decked out.
They were just trying to see what he looked like.
No, I think it was from a comic. It was like a comic shot.
Oh, okay.
Oh, the other little Easter egg I found was the dog's name was Juggernaut.
Which dog?
The
Annie's
tiny
dog.
one?
The little dog.
Oh wow!
The little dog wasn't even Annie's. Annie had a cat.
Or whichever dog. It had a tag that said Juggernaut.
Oh, okay.
The dog that Venom possessed, maybe.
In
It
the
said
hospital?
Juggernaut.
Yeah.
Talking
Yeah.
about that one. Okay. I didn't catch that. I'm sure there's a lot of other Easter eggs. I'll have to go back and watch it again.
It's definitely one that I feel like I can go back and watch and have fun with.
Yeah.
Right.
It did better than everyone thought it would. It's 80 million domestic and 125 all around the world.
It broke October records.
Yeah.
It's getting a sequel.
Oh, yeah. Without a doubt. They just made enough money to push forward.
Give me crazy-ass Woody Harrelson. That's what I want.
Yes.
We were talking before we got started about the wig. And my wife hated the wig. That's all she talked about. What was he thinking with that wig?
You know what? It'll look better in the sequel.
Yeah, he'll grow his hair out and curl it every single night.
Yeah, Woody Harrelson with a perm.
Yes.
Was there any significance to Cassidy being having red hair and Carnage being red?
He's just a redhead. I mean, that's just all it was.
That scene when Eddie's like strapped in the chair in the lab, and he walks in just all casual, and then all of a sudden just changes right in front of him, just goes blah.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa, when did that happen?
Yeah, so we had talked about the 40 minutes that were cut out. Did you not? I felt that 40 minutes had stuff in it that would explain better some of the scenes we saw. Like, I just want a director's cut that has a bunch of stuff put back in.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and take out some of that car chase scene.
Yeah, that didn't all need to be there. I agree. Or how about...
They just wanted to show the cool motorcycle jump with the arm goo grabbing him.
Well, and I felt like you could tell that there should have been blood in scenes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
someone had to go with digital whiteout and just remove all the blood.
And I love that ending. Like, Darren, I did see a bunch of reviews that say that the movie was a turd in the wind. And then using that in the movie, you know, he says, "You're just a turd in the wind."
Uh-huh.
That whole scene, I wish they would have shown him eating the guy.
Yeah.
Well,
you know, in the director's cut, there's a turd rolling around in the wind.
Well, so you weren't here earlier when we were playing the opener that everyone just already listened to for this podcast, but I basically made my voice sound like Venom. And so that was the funniest part, that scene, and so yeah, that part is in there. So definitely have a laugh from that, because we were definitely having a laugh earlier.
Well, I think that we should probably, I feel like we've talked about a lot of the movie. I mean, if you guys don't agree, you can tell me. But I feel like maybe we should talk about maybe our favorite lines from the movie. I'd like to go first. My favorite line from the whole movie, or scene, or whatever you want to call it, is when Venom was telling him to jump out the window. And you think he's about to do it, and the next thing you see, they're pushing the button on the elevator. Venom just says, "Pussy."
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
I liked the second scare, because the first time he just hears Eddie, and he's like, "What?" And then the second time it's food. That was the one that I was laughing at.
What's your favorite, Darren?
My favorite scene, I think, and quote, was when he's holding that guy, the security guard, in the middle of the street, and he's just about to kill him, and he says, "Eyes, lungs, pancreas, so many snacks, so little time." And then he just eats him.
All right, well, my favorite scene is, full disclosure, it doesn't have actually one. It's a double scene. Okay, it's a double shot. In the beginning of the movie, before he has Venom, there's that dude across the hall. He's fucking jamming his ass off. And he doesn't, there's no line here. He just like, he crouches down and he just is like, like spazzes out for a second. And I just looked at Darren, I'm like, what the fuck was that? Because they just cut away. There was no, he says nothing. He just goes, spazzes out and says nothing.
It's just like rage quitting. Just raging whenever you die so many times.
It happens
Just go,
again. It happens again with when he's attached to Venom, and he does the same thing. He like crouches down. It just passes out, and then that's when he runs over there and like tells the dude to turn the shit off.
Then he has the half Venom face. It scares
And
the
then
crap out of him.
the neighbor sees afterwards when Venom fights all the bad guys, looks at the aftermath, and it just kept continuing
like,
on.
Nope.
Yeah.
Close the door.
I compared this. This is not necessarily what my favorite part is not necessarily positive to the movie, because to me, it kind of felt like something needed to be said right there. Like, why are you just fucking spazzing out? Like, you're not even attached to the thing yet. You're already kind of psychotic.
Well, he was kind of stressed, and that's why he was doing that self-meditation thing that he got from the grocery store.
You know that rocker across the hall did that every single night, though.
Yeah, so he just had to have some sort of meditation.
Over and over, and finally you snap.
Okay. Because I was going to compare it to a Justice League scene, which I hate to go off topic here, but I have to address it. I think the public needs to know that when Superman shows up in the Justice League at the very end, when he shows up for battle, fucking Ben Affleck has this gayest smile. It is so, I'm like, why are you smiling right there? Like, you're Batman, dude. Anyways,
he's not Batman. He's chubby cheeks stuck up in the suit.
He's just he's got this shit-eating grin on his face. Like, why, dude? Why are you doing that? Who edited this motherfucker?
Because he was probably drunk. That's why he did the 40 days of rehab.
Apparently he's back at it, though. He realized now that the Joker has a movie with another actor that he might lose out on Batman and what he's going to lose out on. So he wants to do the Batman, and he's back in training. So
yeah, I heard that today.
Currently working on it.
All right. Get back to work. No more smiling, please.
Because you're Batman.
It's very hard to defend you, dude. Come on. I'm doing my best. I'm taking a grenade all over the place.
Wow,
All
we're
right,
way
any
off topic.
final thoughts on Venom while we're at it?
I think I said this on the way home. I think it was a great movie for the season, and I'm definitely going to have it on my bucket list from now on every October to at least watch it one time.
Oh, great Halloween flick, definitely.
Yeah, it gets me in the mood. It was kind of creepy and scary, so it has that feel to it.
I agree that it was a good movie, a lot of fun. I would have liked to have seen the vision that they talked about beforehand, where it was supposed to be a straight horror flick, but I liked it.
Maybe they'll come out with like a special edition rated R version.
I'm sure we'll get the unrated version with all the stuff added back in.
Yeah.
I mean, all it's going to do is allow Sony to make more money. So, Sony, if you like money,
they're going to turn on the blood effect.
Release it. We'll buy. Obviously. People like Venom.
It's like the old Mortal Kombat days of selecting blood on, putting the cheat code.
Gears of War, no blood.
I thought it was pretty good just because like Dax was saying earlier, he had a couple criteria going in. My main one was it better than Spider-Man 3 introduction? I mean, another thing that I liked on this one was that they didn't kill off Venom at the end like they did in the first one. They just threw a little grenade in there and it blew it up, and that's it. Next.
I'll bring this up just because you said that. Sam Raimi hated the character of Venom, like his least favorite bad guy from Spider-Man, and Sony forced his hand and made him put Venom in it, and that's why Sam Raimi treated Venom with such crap.
They did it so that 10 years from now, or from then, they would have this. That's good foresight.
Well, yeah, I've said it. I enjoy the movie as soon as Venom exists. Before that, it's like, okay, I gotta watch this, kind of like watching season 1 of Iron Fist. Okay, I gotta put myself through this and get the cool light up guns. Like, I'll do it. I'll watch what I have to. But after that, like, I might see it one more time in theaters just so I can go in 3D, because the fight scenes and everything, it looked good. I'll definitely go see the Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. So who knows? Maybe I'll make it like a double feature. If it's still there, I could probably find a theater that's got them both playing.
Mm-hmm.
But I am ready for more Venom. So you guys better be working at it right now. Like, let's get the sequel pushed out next year. I'm ready for it.
Give me more Tom Hardy. He was fantastic.
Absolutely.
He's always fantastic. I mean, Bane.
Well, I mean,
to
that's
Venom.
2 times that they've augmented his voice to be a villain, and it's fun. Like, it really works.
We are Venom.
Bum, 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 bum.
No, Darren, we are Life Tech Gaming.